Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Najwa. I'm very happy you're here. If you're new here, please do me a favor, hit that like, subscribe button, hit the bell so you know whenever I post a video. This is our little growing community and I would love to have you join. Also, when you hit the like, subscribe button, when you comment down below, tell us about your experience with the narcissist. It pushes our little community, this channel, out into the world, boosts us in the algorithm so we can find each other. So please go ahead, engage, like, subscribe, comment, share, all of the good stuff. So today I'm going to talk about why it's so weird and creepy when the narcissist pretends that everything is okay. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Can we please just talk about this for a moment? Guys, I really don't understand it, and it's enough to make you feel like you're going crazy. Let me just go ahead and kind of go into the circumstances of when it seems like it happens. When they pull out this game of like, let's just play pretend like everything is cool. First of all, okay, in order to address the narcissist pretending like everything is okay when it's so obviously not, comes back to the narcissist's whole, say that 15 times fast, I always say that. It comes back to the narcissist's whole pathology, right? And their whole pathology is just based around shame. Trying to avoid shame, inflicting shame on others, self-loathing and shame on the inside, reflecting shame onto others, projecting shame onto others when others don't have any reason to feel shame. It's just a big old nasty, self-deprecating, love fest of shame. And again, like I say on most of these narcissist videos, I'm not a psychologist, okay? I'm just someone who literally almost had my emotional life destroyed by a handful of narcissists that were in my life. And if I hadn't have woken up to the fact that because I was an empath, I was an easy target, I mean, that could have been the detriment of me, right? So if we come back to shame, if we just keep thinking about this element of shame and how that's such a huge deciding factor in this narcissist's pretending game, we can kind of understand why they do the things that they do. I feel like the problem is not in understanding why they do the things that they do. It's really just in protecting ourselves, right? Like once you really become a pro at identifying what's going on, the next step is really just to protect yourself, because the narcissists are super skilled at honing in on what people's vulnerabilities are, honing in on the things that people care about and exploiting them in this really subtle and hard to detect way. They're really good at that. It's why supply can be such easy supply. They can just keep coming on back and munching on your leftovers. And the pretending part, from my experience, and let me caveat this with saying, narcissists can be romantic, family, friends, co-workers, professional, lots of different spaces where the narcissist can exist, okay? But they have the same game across all of these spectrums. To me, in my experience, the pretending comes in after a moment of shame. It's either where their mask has slipped for a moment and you saw them for who they really are, a super duper childish, vindictive, negative, pessimistic, self-loathing person. You saw them for that. Or it's because you didn't do what you wanted them to do. And for a moment, they had to basically freak out on you because you weren't giving them their good supply. For a moment, you weren't complying. And this is what the narcissist needs. Fully, without argument, without protest, dutifully and devotedly, they need you to comply, okay? And in that moment where you don't comply, even if it's for your best good, and usually the victim of the narcissist, when they're not complying, it is for their best good. You see how that goes hand in hand. Your self-detriment equates to the relationship being good with the narcissist. You standing up for your own dignity, your self-love, that equates to bad for the relationship with the narcissist. Stay with me here. So either something happened where their mask slipped, you saw them for who they were, and then the mask flipped back on real quick and they went into this pretending game, or you didn't comply. I feel like that's the next reason why they start pretending like everything is okay. You didn't comply, And they basically emotionally beat you back into compliance, whether they gaslight you. Same old tactics that the narcissists use. Whether they gaslight you, they play the victim, they sort of make you the villain. They make you out to be the villain. They sort of come after you and make you be the bad guy who is inflicting all this pain on them, when really they are the one who are being emotionally insensitive, emotionally abusive. They are the ones who are being controlling, the ones who are gaslighting, but they somehow project and turn it around on you. And so all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, maybe I am being insensitive in this. And you start to doubt yourself, and you apologize to them. For goodness sakes, you apologize to them when they were emotionally abusive to you. And so then that's when they're able to start pretending. Oh, okay, so now we can go back to normal. I've beat you into compliance, and now everything is good, okay? The pretending also kind of comes into play when they are, how do you want to say? So most narcissists, right, especially the covert ones, the ones who are our, neighborhood philanthropists, the charitable organization running people, the most pristine housewife in the neighborhood who is kind of like evil, but they uphold this like view that they're just like such a good person, but really like everybody, it's like an unspoken reality that everybody knows, like this housewife is totally evil, like Brie Vandekamp in the first season of Desperate Housewives. But they have worked themselves so much into this role, and developed and polished this role of this like Stepford wife so much that nobody is gonna go against them. It's the snakish CEO or exec leader who is really a bad guy, is a bad guy, but they've garnered so much success that like nobody is gonna come after them. It's the bank manager who like wills that little bit of power that they have to be the one who decides if you get that bank loan or not, but they're freaking blackmailing you. It's just like that mask. How do I want to describe it? On the outside, there's a mask of a charitable person, a leader, somebody who's well respected within the community. You guys get what I'm saying? Like the philanthropist, the person who volunteers. But behind that is someone who is like really, really nasty, really kind of mean, vindictive. You guys get what I'm saying? And so that's another instance where that pretending comes in, and the pretending for them is their whole life. It's not even a moment, because they really wear that mask of the philanthropist, the successful business owner, the Stepford wife, or whatever it is, the church bake sale champion, 20-time champion, because they know behind it there's something sinister, there's something dark back there. And oftentimes it's, same old stuff, dealing with adverse childhood experiences. ACE is dealing with, anxiety or depression, or, some generational trauma within their family that they never addressed. They just sort of channeled it into being this fake version of themselves. And all in all, no matter what the pretending is, if it's a mask, if it's like the philanthropist thing, if it is the Stepford wife thing, if it is beating you into compliance, whatever it is, this sort of fake niceties of the narcissist really creeps me out. And I feel like it's something in society we really need to start to address, because it's something that just keeps being perpetuated. We keep having these weird unspoken rules in society, and it upholds toxicity. So I've been thinking through my life in certain ways, because the thing is that narcissism is becoming so prevalent. That's a whole nother video to ask, why are we just so narcissistic in this day and age? And I kind of have a hunch on it. Again, that's going to be another video, maybe right after this one. But just for the sakes of this, that's a deeper subject to delve into. But we can say with observing that narcissism is more prevalent today. We won't address the why in this video, but we can at least just acknowledge that narcissism is more prevalent today. After that, the question is, those of us who want people to recognize the individuals that we are, to recognize that we want to love We want to have compassion. We want to find compromise and unconditional love within our group settings, within our dynamics, whether it be family, work, worship, religion, politics. We want to be able to be who we are as long as we're not hurting society in any way, hurting other people, and accept others for who they are and have them accept us, and have this sort of symbiotic, democratic space that we can exist in, an emotionally intelligent space we can exist in. But it's so hard to do that in this day and age where everything is dominated by narcissism, right? If that's going to be the reality, we got to figure out some happy medium. We got to figure out some way to meet in between, some way to figure out, like, how can we promote this symbiotic sort of emotional intelligence, compassion, empathy within our own personal lives, our interactions with our friends, family, and then our interactions with society at large, but also encourage those things to be emphasized in society. I feel like that's the bigger question, and it's a big sip. It's not, it's a big gulp. It's not a sip, it's like, it's something I feel like that's going to have to happen generation to generation. I feel like it's not going to be a quick fix, but it's something that's going to have to be cultivated from generation to generation. I just don't see any other way to do it. It's something that we try, a way of life that we try to pass on to our children, our friends, our family. We try to interact in ways that are compassionate and loving, but also stern and standing up for what we believe in, who we are as individuals, but not excluding ourselves from the group, trying to integrate within the group while holding on to who we are as ourselves, It's also seeking more knowledge and learning and discouraging the sort of self-involved, egotistical, emotionally violent way of dealing with things, and I feel like that's the only, how do I want to say, that's pretty much the only solution that I have arrived at. And of course, it's way deeper than that. We could spend a whole lot of time discussing that, but at the basis of it, that's what I feel like I've come to the conclusion for in addressing this narcissistic, nastiness that's peaked up in our lives. But the pretending part, I can't do it. You guys tell me what experience you've had with it. Tell me if you've been in those situations where something unspoken is going on with the narcissist and you sort of saw them pretending and they sort of invited you in, whether spoken or unspoken, to pretend with them. What did you do? Did you sort of just say, no, I can't do this? And, what do you think about this thought on a societal level of engaging in the symbiosis of being more emotionally intelligent? How do we do that? What do you think is the solution for that? Because honestly, I think this is also the solution. It's people who have been hurt by narcissists talking with one another, engaging with one another, being truthful about our experiences, how it hurt us, how it stunted us, how we grew from it, how we can share with others to be better. I feel like that's pretty much all that we can do. But as far as the individual instances, I want to know what you did, because when I think about these moments in my life, and I'm probably not the best, I'm not the best example because I have zero subtlety. I just do not possess that skill of being able to wear a mask. I can't. You're just going to get me. You're going to get me. And sometimes it's gotten me into trouble, but for the most part, I think it's given me a very authentic life. It's brought in the right energies that I need into my life. And so I'm thankful for that. But I can definitely say at previous points in my life, it certainly would have been easier for me to have a better poker face. But in the end, I think it's been better for me because I've been able to weed out the bad seeds, the narcissists in my life, whether I knew what they were up to initially or not. And so I have never, ever been able to engage in that pretending. In fact, I flunk every single test of unspoken social norms of conformity in every single moment. I cannot sit here and pretend. I can't sit here and inflate somebody's booty when they really do not deserve it. So in the end, I think it's helped me, but in moments of, the actual, what was happening, it probably was, I probably stood out like a big sore thumb. But you guys tell me, what have you done? What have you done in those instances where the narcissist was on their creepy pretending game? You know, ultimately, I have cut contact with the biggest narcissists that have been in my life. And I have been so much better for it. I mean, now I can share with you all and I feel free. I feel absolutely free. But I do think that there's so much covert narcissism in our society today that it's going to be impossible to just eradicate narcissists from your life, period. I mean, narcissism is so prevalent. But I refuse to do the pretending thing. You know, it's time to get those unspoken toxic social norms out. You know, just live your life authentically. Be as compassionate and empathic towards others as you can, and expect the same respect and dignity and compassion and empathy for yourself. I feel like once we in society do that and start living more authentically in that and denounce and reject pretending on the basis of I don't know, classism, social hierarchy, racism, all of that stuff, I just think it's going to be bad. And narcissism, it's important to note that narcissism obviously thrives in those systems, thrives in classists, sexists, racists, you know, othering systems, us versus them. So it thrives there. So the narcissistic pretending is creepy. Every time I experience it, you know, spidey senses go off in me and I just can't do it. But I want to know what you guys' experiences have been with it. Did you play along with it? After the fact, did you play along with it, and after the fact did you say, oh, I can't believe that I did that? Did you not play along with it? And did you get ousted from some groups or from a friendship, you know? And what do you think is the bigger implication for all of these unspoken narcissistic societal norms that exist? You guys let me know in the comments. And again, if you're new here, go ahead, hit the like, subscribe button, hit that bell so you know whenever I post a video, and I'll see you next time.